And now to our interview segment. My guest, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Kyari Gadzama, was called to the Nigerian bar in 1986. He was elevated and conferred with the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in 1998. He was subsequently called to the English bar in 2008. J.K. Gadzama has held many leadership positions and has appeared in several notable cases on constitutional and other aspects of the law. In this interview, we talk about the relationship between judges and lawyers, the role of lawyers in the anti-graft war, and his quest to lead the Nigerian Bar Association. What do you make of some comments in the recent past by President Muhammadu Buhari that the judiciary is his biggest headache in the fight against corruption?
Well, I want to believe that the system of government we have today is, you will agree with me, democracy. And I do agree that everybody has a right of freedom of speech and expression. That takes us to the fact that the president, including you and I, and everybody, in as much as the president is entitled to his own personal opinion on all national issues, but I want to believe that some of these statements are probably too loaded, and the judiciary is a microcosm of the society, and you have bad eggs everywhere, not only in the judiciary. And one thing that is going in favor of the judiciary is that it has an internal mechanism of punishing erring judicial officers, just as we have as a bar association. We can identify the bad eggs among us, punish them one way or the other, at times even in debarring them or getting their names struck off the role of legal practitioners. So to make a blanket statement that judiciary is the headache, to a large extent, in as much as the statement may carry some truth, but it is too generalized that one can challenge and say, well, do the usual thing or the expected thing by bringing out those who are corrupt or those who you have evidence against, and all well-meaning Nigerians, whether of the legal mind or otherwise, will support efforts to deal with them, to punish them, come out with concrete evidence. Law generally is about evidence. If you have evidence against any judicial officer or any person who has been alleged to have committed a crime, why not? We must support government in fighting such persons.
The EFCC has taken up that challenge after some comments by their chairman that senior lawyers aid accused persons to get off lightly on corruption charges. They've charged 2 senior advocates to court on charges of obstruction of justice.
In as much as people have the right to express their opinions, the advice, candid one for that matter, one will give is that one should come out with concrete evidence. And if you have the evidence, you know where to go to. We have 1 or 2 pending cases, and these matters are sub judice. And the judgment can go either way in each case. So let us wait and cross the bridge. We have seen 1,001 cases whereby prosecutions have taken place and nobody was convicted. We have seen a few other cases where people were convicted. So nobody is a soothsayer. And it's one thing to allege, and it's another thing to prove what you have alleged. So the fact that 2 senior lawyers are being prosecuted in court is not the first time. This has happened against lawyers, against non-lawyers. So if you say senior lawyers constitute clogs in the wheel of progress of administration of justice, I would say no. Different segments of the society, different groups, different factors give rise to that. Litigants constitute clog in the wheel of progress. Judicial officers themselves, if they are lazy in some cases or if they don't sit for one reason or the other, can give us a headache. You have also the witnesses, the parties, and the system generally.
Are you satisfied with the mechanisms that the Nigerian Bar Association has in place for discipline of lawyers? Because there's a perception that senior lawyers can do anything and get away lightly.
in the last 1 or 2 years, senior advocates of Nigeria have been punished one way or the other, without mentioning names. You remember a senior advocate of Nigeria was suspended from enjoying the privileges and benefits of the rank of senior advocate for 2 good years by a former Chief Justice of Nigeria. You will agree with me, but a lawyer from this part of the country where we are today was even debarred by the Disciplinary Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association, although the matter is on appeal. You will agree with me that there was another senior advocate that was recently suspended over a land transaction in Lagos. And this has happened to a number of young lawyers at the bar. And it is the story, it is the news day in, day out. So how, for goodness sake, can somebody come out and say the person is not satisfied with the internal machinery among the lawyers in making efforts to discipline their members?
Are you personally satisfied with it?
Satisfied? You see, as human beings, there is always a room for improvement. So, but there is already an internal mechanism, and it has been working. And do you want every lawyer in Nigeria to be punished one way or the other, or to be disbarred? Do you want to have a system where there is no lawyer that is on the roll to perform the functions of the legal practitioner? Except if that is what you want. But if that is not what you want, then I think the system is working.
The relationship between lawyers and judges. Do you think that there's a need to tinker with that provision that allows judges to collect gifts in line with customs? Because some people think that once you give gifts to judges, you ultimately reap the benefits at a later date.
Now, in the first place, judges are not spirits. They are human beings like you and I. Judges have parents, they have brothers and sisters, they have children, they have in-laws, they have classmates, they have friends all over, and church members, and even Muslim friends among ourselves. So you can't claim that you are ignorant of all these customs, traditions, and practices. But there must be a dichotomy between the two. And if, for example, I don't have a case pending before any court or any judge, and also in the same vein, I have never even held any case before the same judge or court, and we have been classmates, and probably we dine together, or we celebrate together, whether as classmates or church members or members of the same community or the same tribe or the same alumni association. Probably I'm serving as an ESCO member. The judge is probably serving as an ESCO member or a floor member. What stops us from being together? Do judges, must they live as on island of their own? They are human beings. They must relate with people. They are not allowed to commit crimes, but they are allowed to be themselves, to belong to society, to community, to their families. These are constitutional rights. These are people's rights. These are human rights. And these are communal rights as far as their relationship with their brothers and sisters and kinsmen is concerned. So there is a thin divide. And one has to establish that, yes, there must have been an animus, a kind of intention to make somebody use his authority or influence to allow somebody have some benefit or get some benefit inured wrongly, unnecessarily, unlawfully, or illegally.
Let's end with the NBA presidency. I know you've contested in the past, but why do you want to be president of the Nigerian Bar?
I have a right to do so, and I believe I'm competent, and I have all it takes to occupy that office. And my colleagues of all groups and categories, including the most senior ones, have agreed that yes, this is the time to be the president of the NBA. The last time I made the attempt to be the president was in 2010, when in Ibadan there was an election. At the end of the day, a senior lawyer to me was able to become the president. And as expected, I supported him throughout his tenure of 2 years, and all has been well. And it has come back to the north again this time around, and I'm interested because I'm over 30 years at the bar, and I became a senior advocate in 1998 at the age of 11 at the bar, and I have been an active member of the bar since then till date. I have served the NBA in 4 different branches in various categories as chairman, secretary, members of different committees, initially in Kano, thereafter in Maiduguri, Lagos, and now in Abuja, and eventually became the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association in Abuja, and also became chairman of the MBA section on public interest and development law called SPIDEL. And I'm a life bencher and also a life council member of the African Bar Association and a member of the General Practice Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association, a committee that has a very wide mandate that was established last year by the current president of the NBA, Mr. Augustine Alege, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who is doing very, very well as our president. And in addition to that, I'm a member of the General Council of the Bar, and I've served in so many other capacities, too numerous to mention. I believe with my experience and active participation at the IBA for an unbroken period of 15 years. I've never missed any IBA conference. And as a past chairman of the Charter Institute of Administrators, UK, in Abuja, I believe that I have all it takes to offer that leadership. And I believe that leadership qualities are not naturally endowed in people. You acquire them in the process of struggling. I've been a struggler right from childhood till date. So I have been tried, tested, and trusted, and I've never been found wanting in my professional career as a lawyer or in my private life. I believe that I'm the kind of person that the NBA needs.
As the race for the NBA election heats up, we'll bring you many more interviews with the candidates on a wide range of issues. Please feel free to write in and suggest questions you would like us to put across to the candidates. And this is where we wrap up this episode of the program. Let's continue the conversation online. Don't forget that you can find these and past episodes of the program on our YouTube channel. I'm Shola Shuyeli. Thank you for watching.